Again, Mark Bohlman with Kitzler Real Estate and Whitetail Properties, bringing you another property spotlight. We are driving in on a very, very unique property today. It is also on Cty I, just outside of Oxford. 363 Cty I, and it is by far one of the most unique properties I've been on. This is the driveway, and there are a lot of things that make this property very unique, but probably the most important thing that makes this property maybe not necessarily one of a kind, but one of not many, is that it comes with partial ownership of a private airstrip, and it also has its own hangar, airplane hangar, airport hangar, which obviously can be used to store a plane, but can be used to store a lot of things, as you will shortly see. But the amount of privacy that comes along with this property is quite amazing. So let's take a quick look out at the airstrip. The airstrip is shared among 3 private owners. It is half a mile long and is lighted, and the lights are remote controlled. This is one of the neighbor's hangars. I will do a lot of this outside of the vehicle, of course, but for right now, just to kind of give you a general idea, airport runway right here, half a mile long. You cannot land a jet here because the runway is not long enough. It's only a half a mile. But for all other planes, according to the owner, it is able to accommodate anything else. And if we need to talk more airplane, airport, air flight details, then we will be obviously put into contact with the neighbor, who is a aficionado in that respect. We're going to go out and we're going to take a look at the hangar, so stick with me. This property consists of 29.8 some acres, a 4,000 square foot custom built log home, and the hangar. The hangar has a 45-foot electrical door opener. It's all insulated. It's all well lit. There is a 60 by 20 part of the hangar that has been partitioned off for a workshop. So let's go take a look. Okay, we just came in the heliport area, garage. This is the part that is partitioned off. It's 60 feet long by 20 feet wide, and this is where they kind of keep their tractors and their lawnmowers, tools. There's outlets all along the wall, so if a person wanted to put shelving, they most definitely could. Obviously, your panel can accommodate anything you'd want to do out here. Let's go into the bigger area here. As you can see, here's the door. It's all insulated. Big motors obviously run this. Clamped down. Sorry for my camera not adjusting, but it's all insulated. Obviously the current owner has, you know, some items in here. But what I was thinking too is, even if you had items that you wanted to store in here, all of this could easily be stored and an airplane. How cool would that be? Okay, I'm going to get this shut down and we will continue our tour. Okay, I have everything locked up. This is, by the way, a WIC building. And you can see it goes right down to the runway. And then this is one of the driveways that will lead up to the log home. So we will continue our tour. Before we take the tour of the house, I want to take you through the acreage that comes along with this beautiful home, the airport hangar, the runway. So we're going to see some interesting things on the tour through the 29 acres. So come along. The property used to be part of a bigger resort, and this is a pretty interesting item. This is the old ski tool that they would hook up here on a tractor, and you can see the pulleys up there, and tow rope used to go down the hill and pull the skiers up, and we'll take a look at that little ski area. They still use it, they still mow it. Great little ski hill slash toboggan hill. This is where the tow area used to be. And come holidays, when the family gets together for Christmas, they use this area down there as their toboggan or sledding or skiing area. Come on. Beautiful home. So let's take the tour of the property. This is a nice, unique feature. They have a little corral set up for horses, and they bring up horses, or they used to bring up horses a couple times a year, and they do some trail riding. Very nice thing to have. There is a trail system throughout the entire property, as you will see. Almost all of the property is high ground. There's quite a bit of undulation and topography. There is a lot of deer sign that goes through this property, and we will try to show you as much of it as we can. One of the gentlemen that hunts in the block that actually owns this particular piece of property is very successful each and every year of putting venison in the freezer. He sees a lot of deer. He sees deer on every sit. And obviously he and his family love venison, and he has no problem being successful in the field. property is extremely well defined, not only by the trail system, but there's fences that go along all the borders, except the airfield border. But that's very easily distinguished. Look at the trails here coming out of this. This is really neat. It's how it's kind of open and pastury. There's a lake right in this direction here, Lake Jordan. There's another, I don't want to call it a lake, but it's kind of a lake just off to this direction. And then there's another lake, pond, so to speak, over in this direction. And you will see in the aerials that will accompany this property from up in the air. It's absolutely beautiful, and you can see why. Not only is this a good hunting piece, but when they built the log cabin and they put everything here, everything was extremely well thought out, well laid out, and it's just a beautiful place. This is a beautiful corner. I want to show you this corner quick. Look at the size of that trail coming through there. Look at that. Going into that big oak draw. Here's another one. Southeast corner is right up here. Again, well defined with a fence. But just look how beautiful those rolling hills are. Obviously there's a lot of deer that come through here. Big. Look at all the hair on the fence. See where they come through this corner. Right there's the fence line. We will continue. Okay, we are walking east to west through the hardwoods. And again, I want to reiterate, there's a very nice mowed, manicured trail that winds through there that you can ride a four-wheeler or a side-by-side, golf cart, electric, bad boy buggy, what have you. It's just beautiful. The deer movement looks like it's not only east-west, but there is a considerable amount of it going north-south. It's a really well-defined trail that comes out of this ravine. I know with all the foliage, that depth and perception and all of that is a little skewed. That's why you'll just have to come out here and take a look for yourself. We will continue. Okay, we are continuing. Came across this real well-worn deer trail that is running north and south up onto this bench. And there's some real opportunities here to design, create some food destinations for these deer. So what I did is I noticed that there's a couple open spots up on the top of this ridge. There's some really good crossings that go through the property, not only east-west but north-south. And on the west side of the property, you have a fairly large open area that could easily be transformed into, you know, some type of food plot destination for your whitetails and turkeys. Now I should note that living in the great state of Wisconsin, we have lots of snowmobile trails, and there is a snowmobile trail that runs through the field here in the winter. The current owner says that people are very respectful of his property, and him and his family get a free membership every year from the Snowmobile Club, so that's kind of nice. But what a great corner for, you know, to do something. Again, no rock. It's just undulating. It goes up and down, up and down. I understand the airstrip is right there, but it's, you know, it's not like they have flights coming in every day. You could have yourself some real good opportunities here by creating some food destinations. Now, I'm going up to the middle of the runway because obviously that's where the property line is, but we're also on the south line, and right over this sumac edge right here is a fairly large water hole, I would say. So deer have everything. They got food, they got plenty of cover, water, and probably most importantly, no pressure. There, in this whole block right here, I would say 100 plus acres on this side, then some across the road. You don't have a lot of people in the woods. Not only, you know, during deer season, but during any time of the year. So deer are, you know, just naturally move. This is a beautiful view. You can see the water down there. You could probably sit here at night with a south wind with a pair of binoculars and a lawn chair and watch deer come to that lake and drink. And of course there's the airstrip. So our trip will continue. Now that we got done walking the property, you see how beautiful that is. We're gonna go inside the house here. We'll take a more detailed look. For a more detailed look at the house, please take a look at the photo album that is attached on KitSlayerRealEstate.com or WhitetailProperties.com that accompanies the video. Thanks again. And again, this is Mark Bohlman with Cty Hwy I Real Estate and Whitetail Properties. Thanks again. See you next time.